Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Bolt as an anti-vehicle hunter. Now I'll be completely honest with you, when I started using the Bolt I was doing it more for troll meme value to make funny videos, but in the process I've discovered it's an absolute beast. The Bolt brings genuinely unique gameplay that no other vehicle can copy, and in Season 5 we've got a critical buff, the 50mm. That's going to make taking out vehicles a whole lot easier, and while I'm using the 30mm in this footage, just please keep in mind it's going to be even easier to take out the vehicles, so it doesn't in any way invalidate what I'm showing. Now for this video to be a success I've got to do two things. The first is prove the Bolt is good. One-shotting some of the highest armored vehicles in the game is a great place to start, but a Bolt being played aggressively and going on the hunt can take out many pieces of armor in a single life, like you're seeing in this introduction. To get the most out of the Bolt, you've got to be really aggressive and actually go after the vehicles. You can't be hanging around in the shadows or hoping that one ambush will eventually pop, because you're tying up a vehicle which could otherwise be going out and capturing objectives. Which is a good segue to the second thing I need to do for this video to succeed, to convince you that the Bolt could ever be a better pick over these absolute God of War machines. The Bolt really drew the short straw when it got put into the same vehicle pool as these guys. Highest armor, armed to the teeth, and can spawn an infinite number of soldiers onto an objective. I can completely understand why the Bolt is cast as a bit of an afterthought for memes, even if it is funny as hell. So now the task is defined, off we go. The structure of this video is I'm going to quickly run through the 101 of the Bolt and share everything I've learned for how to get the best results out of it, show you some honest gameplay, and then assess if we would ever actually really pick this over its older siblings. In any event, the Bolt got a lot of bad PR, particularly with gamers abusing the 30mm as a spam cannon to take out infantry. But it is a really unique vehicle, one of a kind in the game, and if this video can at least make you consider it and have a crack with it, then I would have considered that mission accomplished. Let's go. So just for the benefit of anyone who doesn't know or miss Joker, the AT mine is the primary weapon of the Bolt when you're vehicle hunting, and they come out in two formations. Formation 1 is when the vehicle's stationary. They come out in a horizontal pattern that blocks the road. Very useful. Now just to reuse this one Joker clip, because it's actually best because of the tracks in the sand, when you're traveling at speed, the mines come out in a vertical line which you can use to cut across your opponent. Everything you're going to see in this video stands on the foundation of those two formations. Right, apply it. How do we kill things? In absence of a better name, I'm going to call this first trick Boop the Snoot. So what you want to do here is come up behind your opponent and come to a total or as near a total stop as you can. Deploy your mines in the horizontal formation 1 pattern, pop your smoke and get out of there. What you're going to be noticing here is the Bolt can't kill any vehicle directly. You have to deploy your mines and then goad your opponent to chase you or otherwise cross your mine. Obviously there's no guarantee that the opponent is going to follow you, but I have a very, very high success rate with it, and it's even better if you do it from the front. Check this out. Okay, slam on the brakes, deploy your mines. There's that lovely horizontal line. Remember to leave yourself a bit of space because they are driving at you, and special points to anybody who can boop a Nightbird. There you go, it can be done. Okay, the second type of kill I'm going to call a crosscut is when you drive at speed across the target's predicted path and get them to drive over the mines. Just a tip, anybody hiding close to their spawn, they tend to reverse. Okay, now here's when you go at speed and cut in front of your target. This is by far my favorite kill, and you're going to be seeing a few more of them in the video. The Bolt is brilliant for pacing in front of people. Right, this next one I'm going to call the ambush, and it's when you deploy your mines across the road, usually in formation 1 horizontal, in anticipation of a vehicle, not in a reaction to one you've encountered. This is really effective at the start of a round when you can get to a choke point first. There we go, lovely triple kill. I didn't see what it was, but it was all human, so I bet you it was some kind of heavy vehicle. Anyway, moments later in exactly the same round, we go back and repeat the trick. I was after a wildcat, but let's see who comes through. Nice, we got ourselves a quadruple kill, so let's go have a look at the wreck. What do we get? Hey, it's a MAV. The Bolt is particularly lethal at the beginning of the round by closing off the roads. Okay, here's the last trick, and I'm just adding it for completeness. When you have a smaller vehicle like another Bolt or a Lat V, you can go up and over. Deploy your mines as you're crossing, and you can get yourself a cheeky kill. I wouldn't make that plan A, but if you see the opportunity, take it. It does actually work. Right, let's take a look at some gameplay where it did not go to plan, and it's important to show this if you want to be honest about a vehicle. This round was a total street fight, but the Bolt still pulled through, and you're also going to see why I'm excited for the 50mm. Okay, the opening move is a crosscut. Bit unlucky they didn't detonate. Shoot them to try and get splash damage. When the Bolt gets hit like that, it gets disabled, and when you're disabled, you lose your speed, so I'm just trying to use smoke and limp into cover to protect myself from a follow-up shot. Barely any health, let's take a chance.
I love this!
So if you break it down, a lot happened there. 1, you've seen what happens when the mines don't fully detonate. 2, you've seen what being disabled does to you. And 3, you can see why I'm genuinely excited for the 50mm. Okay, let's boot the snoot on this Wildcat. Doesn't look like he's buying it, so we're going to have to go for plan B. The good news is mines regenerate in about 10 seconds, so let's go for a crosscut.
Good!
Okay, we got him, but no time to waste because a Brawler's appeared around the corner. Now take a close look, you'll see it's on near full health and it's got at least 2 gunners, so time for a cheeky crosscut. Another single mine detonation. I'm getting very unlucky, but it makes for a good fight. However, luck isn't totally against me because the crew is bailed. Active protection is up, so let's go for another crosscut. That grenade on my side is about to spoil everything. I'm disabled, and just before I can get in front of him to put down the mines, I get slowed down and he's able to go up and over and he's escaped. Honestly, this has turned into a bit of a cluster, but that's why I wanted to show it. Okay, crosscut number 3. Can we get him this time? Okay, we managed to do it. Not my best work, but we managed to take out the Brawler. Okay, so having looped back around, the Wildcat's up again and just sitting on the spawn line. I'm not quite sure what it's doing, but I'm going to assume it's a spawn camper and see if I can get some mines in front of it with a crosscut. So 2 bits of bad luck here. The first, the Torja spawned in, and second, this Wildcat woke up and it's got a spam cannon on it, so I need to run and get back to cover pretty quickly. The Bolt manages to soak quite a lot of damage, and now there's 2 vehicles right in front of my mines. Are we going to get lucky?
Alpha sector is out.
Honestly, for a single life, that is not a bad catch. The Bolt can be proud of that. So looking at that gameplay sequence and also counting the introduction and then during the theory part where we were blocking the roads with the ambush kills, you've seen what the Bolt can do, but would you ever actually pick it over the MAV and the Brawler? Well, yes you would, particularly at the beginning of a round where speed matters and you can run a flank and get behind enemy armor like you're seeing here, or block off the roads like you've seen. It's really effective and very satisfying gameplay. The risk, however, is that you get seen before you're able to get into position. If you're spotted at range, you're done. The other problem compared to the MAV or the Brawler is that you can't really spawn your team in. You have 1 seat, and yes, if you play Recon, you can drop down an insertion beacon, but that's a pretty pale imitation of being able to actually continuously deploy your forces. However, you've got speed, you've got smoke, and you've got mines, and you can cause a lot of problems for the team. If you want to get the best out of the Bolt, you have to be aggressive. You just got to accept you're going to get killed a few times. But once you get into the fight and start putting the mines down in cheeky places, you really do catch the opponent out. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the Bolt. It can really punch above its weight. The final bit of good news is its major weakness, getting shot through the glass, has now been patched out. This can no longer happen in Season 5. It's glorious. No more hijacking Bolts and then proceeding to run over the rest of the team. Anyway, if we can't hijack them, let's just go back to blowing up old school.
About to attack Charlie 1.
Come on, you know the hop over the wall was pretty good. The last thing I would say in defense of the Bolt, which hopefully you've seen through this video, is it can take more of a kicking than you think. It's not the glass cannon that sometimes people make it out to be. If you're seen at distance with no cover, yeah, you're toast. But if you're able to use the cover to your advantage, you can survive. So to bring this to some kind of conclusion, my advice to you would be this. If you find yourself in a situation where your round looks like this, you have multiple areas you need to capture and the scores are tight, don't pick the Bolt. If you find that your round is looking like this, where pretty much everything's captured and you've got a healthy lead, go for it. The Bolt is fine, it's a lot of fun. And the gameplay that it brings is really unique, and that really is the primary consideration you should have in mind. All that said, if it's a close round, you're trying to win, would I pick the Bolt over these gods of war? No, never. I recommend keeping it to the beginning of the round when they genuinely have a use case, or if you're in a round where you're smashing it and you just want to have a little bit of fun without compromising the match for other people. Okay, so that's it. Time to outro. As ever, thank you very much for listening, and please do let me know what you think in the comments. Have I convinced you? Have I missed anything? Any and all feedback is welcome. I love the discussion around my favorite hobby of video games, particularly this one. And I shall leave you with this secret art that only the craziest Bolt drivers know. If you ever find yourself on renewal and you're stuck on the wrong side of the gate when the tornado comes in, there is something you can do about that. On a serious note, if you don't like fast spinning images, please just look away now. Alright, everybody enjoy Season 5, happy patch weekend, and I'll catch you later. Bye bye.
One of our objectives is under attack.